One of the things that I ask my kids, there are 3 questions that I ask them. I ask them, "Who do you need me to be for you at this point in your adult journey? What does that look like for you? And how would you like to be known by me?" And I started asking those questions because I realized that the person that was in my home for 18 years is not who they are today as an adult, right? They've changed. Life circumstances, things that they've gone through have changed them. And I realized one day, like, man, do I even know their favorite color? Do I know what they like? Do I know what they think about politics? Do I know how they're walking in the world? How are they known by me? And to be loved is to be known. And so I want to know them, not who I thought they were when they were in my home, but who are you today? What are the challenges you are facing? And certainly one of those that we've dealt with in our family is mental health, as you were saying. And and so for me as a parent of a child, adult child who deals with mental health, it's taking a lot of it's so easy, Trisha, to want to put on your savior cape, to want to fix, to want to rush in and make the world better and all of that. And I've had to learn the process of bearing witness, to sit in silence over FaceTime, to offer my eyes as a place of grounding, to sit in the suffering and the despair and not be consumed by it, but just to be present with it while it's going on. Um, and I am one of those that believe in both Jesus and therapy. Um, and so we do advocate for really good mental wellness and well-being. But I think in a lot of ways, and I'm not trying to necessarily blame social media, but I think social media is its own crisis. And what I mean by that is I think that social media has made our worlds very, very big too soon, too quickly, and too much for children and even transitioning from teen to adulthood to handle. They do not have the emotional regulation to manage something that big. And social media demands that we care about everything, we have an opinion about everything, that we have expert knowledge on every single thing. And then that thing can change from day to day and sometimes hour to hour, all while demanding that you dress the part, look the part, be successful, have finances. It's just doing the most. And it is trapping our humanity inside of comparison and competition. And when we get steeped inside of comparison and competition, we're chasing something outside of ourselves that we can never, ever obtain. But that chasing leaves us anxious, it leaves us depressed, and it causes our insides to be in turmoil. And it's a very exhausting addiction. And if I can go back to any point in time of a thing that shifted this whole mental health explosion that we're experiencing, is that thing. It's that I would have to go back to social media. And it's one thing when the children are in your home and they're small, you can kind of steward that and, curtail it and cut it off. But when they're adults and they're still trapped in that world and experiencing the anxiety of that, um, I love at different times my adult children have chosen to do away with it for long periods of time. But as a parent, what I try to do is just really offer wisdom again, like I was saying before, and offer support. And I'm always leaning into spirit with that question. Like, what's the most loving thing I can do right now? And how can I embody that love in a way that I might be a mirror? I might be a guidepost that they can see love, and that would help anchor them and ground them and draw them back